Filming again. All right. So BlueAnt released a speaker, a home theater speaker, and it's within the budget range, which is nice for all of us to have a little bit of a budget range to choose from. It is a 2-channel speaker. Nice, 100 watts output. So, you know, it's sitting where it needs to be for this price point. And this is what we're looking at today, which is nice. Thank you, BlueAnt, for sending this out. Much appreciated. And I can tell you, it's sitting in my lounge room, connected to my TV, and it works a treat. Now, I was impressed on a few levels with the BlueAnt XT100, and I'm going to get into why shortly. And first, we're just going to go through the contents of what you get in the box, which was a nice surprise as well. So obviously you get the speaker, and it is a nice looking speaker. It's got a glossy sort of black look to it. It's got a mesh grille on the front that gives it a bit of a classic look as well. Bit of branding left and right. One says BlueAnt, one says Dolby, and it looks really good. It doesn't look out of place. It looks like a soundbar. Now on the bottom, it's got some rubber feet, and that's, I guess, to stop it vibrating on the surfaces that you put it on, also to stop it slipping and sliding around on any smooth surfaces. So I like that. It has a good feel to it. Now you get a remote with this, which is nice and easy to use. Typical small remote, pretty standard. It's very easy to use, and there's no guesswork when it comes to the buttons. They're clearly labeled what is for what. I'll get into the remote shortly though. You get an auxiliary cable for sharing the sound with. You get a HDMI cable, you get a power cable, and you also get some wall mounts so you can attach this to the wall or wherever you need to get a good placement for it. You also get a couple of batteries for the remote control as well, which is handy. Didn't have to go digging through the bottom drawer to try and find some batteries. Now, ease of use is one of the reasons why I love this. And so setting it up was just so simple. I literally put it down, plugged in the cables, and turned it on. And it was up and working within seconds. There was no setting it up. There was no connecting it. There was no going through any deep instructions or anything like that. It was just simply plug and play. And I love that about any device. If you can plug and play, your day's gotten better, your day's gotten easier. And that was the case with the BlueAnt XT100. It's also great to get a couple of cables as well. So you get the auxiliary cable, but you also get the HDMI cable. It's nice to have options. Now, I had a spare optical cable lying around, so I always go for optical when I can, and that's what I'm using now. Now, just quickly, the capabilities here are pretty good as well. I think for this price point in the market, the capabilities are solid. We have 2-channel output here with Dolby Atmos. We have 2 HDMI inputs. We have 1 HDMI output with eARC, which is nice for setting up your remotes and stuff like that with your TV. We have 1 coaxial input, 1 optical input, 1 auxiliary cable input, and we have Bluetooth version 5.1. And we even have the option for USB playback for your MP3s, if you're that old school. But I like having these options. Options are good. Options, options, options. Now the frequency output is 40 Hertz to 20 kilohertz, which is a good range. And there are 2 speakers in this, and it gives you 100 watt total output, so 50 watt for each speaker. Now, I've got a Hisense TV, and I'm replacing my soundbar that I have, which is a Hisense soundbar. So you think that they sync well and everything works amazing. The BlueAnt XT100 is so much better than the Hisense 2.1 channel soundbar. They're both the same price, but BlueAnt is way better in terms of just setting it up problem-free, no tricky menus or anything like that. I really dig the XT100 for that reason. Now there is a nice little LED on the front as well, and on this you do get a display of what mode you're in or where the source of your audio is coming from. So you have your connection type that is visible through the LED, your volume level, whether you're on bass or treble for when you're adjusting those settings. Also what mode you're in, whether it's sport, voice, music or movie mode. So having all those visible is quite handy as well. It also is dimmable. You have 3 different settings. You have really bright, obviously, and not so bright, and then in between. Now I can hear all you audiophiles saying, what about the sound? What about the sound? Tell us about the sound. And that's where I'm at now. So the sound is, like I said, it's 2-channel output. So that's the sort of quality you're going to get. It's 2 speakers facing frontwards. Now, I found it quite good. I'm replacing a 2.1 channel soundbar with this, and I found the volume to be much better. It syncs up with the TV, no problem, and it doesn't matter what app I'm using, whether it's YouTube or live TV or Amazon Prime or Netflix. The sound syncs up really well through all of them. There is no delay when it comes to the BlueAnt XT100, which isn't the same case for its own brand for the Hisense TV and the Hisense soundbar. So not to keep harping on about Hisense, but it's just I've got something there to compare this to, and the XT100 is way better. Now, for me to watch a movie on the XT100, I've got it at about 1/3 of the volume, and that accounts for, your high ends and your lows and your quiet scenes and your loud scenes, and about 1/3 of the volume, or level 10 on the volume scale, is where it's at. Now, you can go louder, especially if you're watching YouTube and some of the videos are really low volume. You can pump it up to 20, but you don't really need to go much further past 20. And the volume scale is 1 to 32. I think it could probably do with maybe having 60 levels and having like half increments compared to what you currently have. Because there was one point where I went from, so I think it was like 7 to 8, and the volume jump was noticeable, and I would like to be able to dial that back by another halfer. And if you just need to fill a nice sized room with a good little soundbar, the XT100 is definitely for you. Now, generally though, when I'm not watching a good movie, I'm not trying to lose myself in the content, the volume sits at around 5, and that's plenty loud enough for me in a quiet room. If a dishwasher's on or something else is on, I might pump it up to 6 or 7, but 5 is where I generally sit. Now, setting it up with my phone for Bluetooth was just as easy as turning it on initially. You just put it into Bluetooth mode and then find it through your phone and connect it, or through whatever Bluetooth device you're trying to send a signal from. And for me, it was like, found it first go, connected straight away, and then I was sending my music from my phone to the speaker. So that's always, like, sometimes Bluetooth can be so buggy, but here, no problems, just connect and play my music. So I enjoyed that as well. I mean, this XT100's done everything right. Now, on the right-hand side of the speaker, there is also 4 buttons, which will help you navigate through this if you maybe lose the remote or your batteries go flat. There is a power button, there is a source button, so you can choose where to get your music or sound from, and then there is the volume up and down. So having that there is good. It's a bit of a fail-safe. Now, I said to my daughter just previously, I said, what do you like about this? Do you like it or do you prefer the other one? She goes, no, the BlueAnt one's the one I like. I said, give me some reasons as to why you like it. Loudness and clarity were her 2 reasons. And that pretty much sums up where I'm at as well with the XT100. The loudness and the clarity. So having that volume there is what I want. I want to be able to pump it up really loud if I have to and drop it back really quickly if I want to as well. And I want it to be clear. I don't want it to be too loud or tinny and distorted. And I think they've got the mix right here. It's a yes from the kitty. And I think also the feedback I would give is that the remote's easy to use. There's no guesswork with the remote control. There's the remote. Simple pimple. And it takes 2 AAA batteries that are supplied in the box. You don't have to think about it. Put them in, turn it on, and it works straight away. There was no pairing it up. Everything just works. Plug and play. Now, the XT100 from BlueAnt is definitely on my list of recommendations. If you want a soundbar and this is within your budget, then definitely don't overlook it. We're going to see more from BlueAnt over the next 12 to 24 months, and I'm looking forward to what they bring to the market. If it's anything like this, I'll be stoked. You remember the old days, back in the day, getting a BlueAnt little speaker for your visor in your car, and you push a button and the microphone would come out? They were the best you could get. And I think if they continue on with that trend into these new marketplaces, then it's going to be great for everyone. If they ask for this back, I'm just going to tell them I lost it. I don't know where it went. The soundbar? What soundbar? I don't know what you're talking about. That's it, folks. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you really enjoyed it. Links down below to this product if you want to pick one up. Hit the like button and a subscribe button. And remember, if you can, hit the thank you button and donate a couple of bucks to the channel. It really goes a long way. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Check you.